We are live. We're live. Hope you're doing well. Cheers. It's not whiskey, it's water. That's water. The Unbearable Lightness of Being is a novel by Milan Kundera. I think I've read it. I read some of his books. He did a really good book on writing the novel. And I wish I could turn off. Can I turn that off? How do I do that? Can I turn off? Hi Simone, how are you doing there? I just jumped on, as the kids say. Just jumped on. Can I turn off the thing where it says how many people are watching? Because it kind of throws me a bit. Hope you're doing well, Simone. It throws me a bit. Can I just turn it off? How do I get rid of that? Oh, you can do full screen. I really don't know how to work this. I should know by now, but I've just never really played around with it. How do you change that? Is it in edit? Does anybody know? Display informative messages on stage. I've done that. Guests, viewer comments and post. Guests see viewer comments. No, that's fine. General, show resolution badge. Informative messages on stage. What's an informative message? I'll try that. No, it's still there. Oh, I know. I'm sorry. Yeah, I just jumped. It wasn't a planned thing. Hi, Kaz. How you doing there? Love your music. I've been listening to your music. I love the Dancing in the Dark and the one that Tim Buckley song. I've forgotten the title of it. Woohoo! How do I get rid of the number of viewers? I'm going to spend hours trying to get rid of it, and there's no way to do it. There's no way to do it. I'm glad all is good there. Sorry, Simone. Yeah, I'm just sort of a flying by the seat of my pants sort of thing. I don't really plan it, because I think if I planned it, I don't think I'd do any, because I just thought, I saw that Chris had done one, and I missed that. I didn't get a notification. Otherwise, I would have. Oh, Pat, lovely to see you as well. Hope you're doing well. Well, I haven't got anything to say. I just I had a few days off from watching videos, or I watched a few, but I was a few, and then I got quite behind. You know, when you get really behind with things, and then I'll try and dip in with some. Saw some nice music ones as well. Let me click on. Oh, hi Liz, lovely to see you. I know it's a school night, isn't it? Clean your teeth and get ready. Yeah, good idea. It's I got a new toothbrush the other day. It's because I got these cheap ones, and it was too hard. I really like a soft toothbrush. My teeth are a bit ropey and everything. That's some comments that have let me know in the past, not on here, but in other things. They have a go at everything, don't they? But I got this square toothbrush. It's like square. Oh yeah, thanks Simone. Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, I mean, you know, I've just sort of just did this as an ad hoc thing, you know, to talk about anything really, or just be, you know, just be. But I hope you're doing well, and hope Tony's well and everything. Teeth emoji. There must be a teeth emoji. We need Wesley Watley, because he's like the genius at emojis. Absolute genius. It's like an art form. I might be speaking too loudly again. Mustn't speak too loudly. How do I stop speaking loudly? Take a chill pill. Simone listened to Chris's live earlier. Yeah, that's fantastic. I'll have to do something earlier. I know. I never plan stuff. I can't plan anything anymore in my life. Oh, this is good. Oh, there's Deborah with a tooth. You've come up. My friend's great niece, who's 8. She had like a loose tooth, a baby tooth, and it was nearly coming out. So, but it did eventually. So that came out at Easter time, which they get the tooth fairy and everything. It was funny because we went to a little playground and found 30 pence on in 3 10-pence pieces on one of the rides. So that was like a tooth fairy thing as well that happened. I'm not sure how much the tooth fairy is meant to leave. Yeah, did I miss anything? Kaz says, longer versions coming soon. Oh, brilliant. Oh, that's great. I love your music there. I love that thing. You don't have to say, obviously, just my curiosity. That thing with all the coloured lights, is that something you can buy from somewhere? Because that's a really good visual for the songs. It's a really nice visual, isn't it? It kind of like does different colours. I want to get one of them. I don't want to nick the stylistics, but I quite like that. I think that's a good thing to have as a visual. I'm also back from some other people will recognise this. Lava lamps from back in the 70s. They were a thing. I don't think I had one, or we had one. And there was another kind of a lamp which was like a standing thing, but had all these filaments coming off it with little lights on the end, like a spray, like a plant. That was another kind of a, what was it? A kind of a, not a cult. It was just something you could buy from a catalogue. There's a terrible joke about catalogues. I don't know if it might be offensive, so I might not say it. It's not terrible, but it's not evil or anything. Welcome one and all. Welcome, Deborah. Simone says Tony's been listening to Judith Moritz's awful book. Oh, like an audio book. So he can update you on his thoughts on that next time. Yeah, well, I dipped into a few little bits of the book, but fibre optic lamp. Oh my God. Thank you, Simone, and thanks to Tony. Yeah, that'd be interesting to see what he thinks. So lava lamps are cool now. They've come back in. Fibre optics, and Pat says that as well. Fibre optic lamp. I've got to get one of those lamps. I've got my fairy lights on, or Lucy lights that Operation Merlin Falcon says. Hi Topsy, good to see you. Sorry if I've missed anybody's name. I used to have a lava lamp in the 1990s, says Topsy. It was just a bottle with oil in it when it was taken apart. Very disappointing. But it's kind of magical when it's kind of just doing its thing, like moving, just doing its thing and never stops. A bit like life. It's a bit like life, isn't it? I don't want to know what's inside it because it will ruin the dream, I have lava lamps and fibre optic lamps. Amazon. Oh, you've got them. Fantastic. That's brilliant. I've got to get one. I've got to start. I've been getting into all this sort of. I know this is slightly different, but the kind of cozy stuff with the animals, making cocoa, and rescuing other animals, and they take them home and they bake them They make them pancakes and feed them porridge and cocoa and everything. It's just like another world. Hi, Tom Rogers online. Good to see you. Hi, Tim Kent. Optic lamps. Tim Kent says, have you seen the recent video Lucy Letby talks about the way Lucy Lippy Talks. That's not Lucy Lippy Films then, isn't it? So what's Lucy Lippy Talks? I have heard of that. I've seen it, haven't I? Have I seen Lucy Lippy Talks? About the way the fake staff rota was manipulated to frame Nurse Letby. Oh gosh, Lucy Letby Talks is Peter Alston. Yes, I have. Yes, I have. Sorry, just because there's quite a few channels with kind of like different versions of Lucy Letby Analysis, Lucy Letby Talks, Lucy Letby Films. It's Peter Alston. Yeah, that was brilliant. I love Peter Alston's work. He was, he used to, because before he had Mephitis as a website, he had his kind of other website, which was also to do with things to do with finance and statistics generally. And then he had a kind of a playlist, or not a playlist, but a kind of a list of building up list of articles. Just wet the old whistle a minute. No whiskey, thank God. I've got to stay off all that stuff. It just drives me nuts. Mate, if I get very ill. No, but it's fantastic. Yeah, I think that's great. And somebody said on Twitter earlier today that as and when we find out everything about it, I know we probably never find out everything. Things will be even more egregious and problematic and conniving and not nice, horrible, the way it was all built up. So I'm missing, I've got into slow mode. It's all this Tai Chi walking I'm doing, going to slow. But yeah, so I've got to catch up now. And Tom Rogers says, how Superintendent Hughes and the missus are getting on with a Dostoevsky tumble dryer. That's brilliant. I don't know what it means, but I like it. Dostoevsky tumble dryer, yeah. I just read another comment which was funny on a picture I put up of a well. It was talking about from Jane, and she said about it was like a kind of a tumble dryer, because it does look like a washer that's been opened with a lid. But this is interesting, the Dostoevsky tumble dryer. Dostoevsky, I started reading one of his books last year, and I stopped. I might go back to it. I think it was called The Idiot. The Idiot, it's a good title, isn't it? But I read Crime and Punishment a long time ago, and that's a good one. And I like to read I've read some of his, I've read another one, no, short stories. Notes from the Underground, or The Underground Man. I think it's called The Underground Man. It's good. Some years ago in Charing Cross, I went to see a play version of it, an old little theatre called the Bear and Staff, a really nice little pub theatre. 1980, when would that have been? 1988, 1989. Magical theatre. Very small, I get about 25, 30 people in there, kind of. But that's good. I don't know how he's getting on with that. He's probably got it. I don't know if he's married, he might not be married, but it's hard to know, isn't it? Pat says, my husband bought one of each for me a couple of years ago. Oh, the mirror ball. Oh, that's fantastic. That you never had at the time. So the mirror ball, how does that work then? Do you just like stick it to the ceiling and then I'd like that, because that'd be nice as well, wouldn't it? I don't want it too busy and everything. I've got the feeling I'd like some purple light. I build up a sort of a bit of a set, with some purple light and some strange mobiles hanging from the ceiling. Branding, it's all about branding, isn't it? I don't mean that, no, I think it's just pretty, isn't it? I like pretty things. In this vale of tears. Oh, Liz says, my cat has one, but it's lit up jellyfishes that go up and down instead of blobs. Oh, that's interesting. I bet does she Does she love that? Then watches the fish. Yes, I can imagine that. I can imagine that. I see these videos with the cats and dogs, and they got these kind of toys that, you know, keep them occupied and interested for a long time, doing things over and over again. Like with one of them, it's a ball with a dog, and it kind of fires it out, and the dog brings it back to the little thing. You can have it in your home, I guess. Well, it is for the home, and then the dog puts the ball back in, and then it fires it out. So it's. But there's one for a cat, but I can't remember what it does. But that's a good one, Liz. Cotfield Mirrors. There's a shop in Selkirk and Glastonbury that sells mirrors. Main Place is an art cafe, gallery in Gateshead. Handmade, lovely. That'd be lovely, wouldn't it? Handmade things. I put a link on there, did I? If anybody wants to come on and talk about anything. How do I do that again? Yeah, that's it. Look. That's it. I've done it. Simone says, that sounds good, Kaz. Just in case of interest, there's a book called The Nurse about a nurse in Denmark. A lot of similarities to Lucy. Also on Netflix, worth a check out. Yeah. Oh God, is there hopefully not another one. That rings a bell actually from something I'd heard on Twitter or read on Twitter about another case in Scandinavia, but I didn't know it was Denmark. Tim says, brilliant analysis focused on the procedural errors which can be considered by the CCRC and Court of Appeal. That's Peter Elston's, what you call it, dissection and analysis of how the infamous rotor chart came to be. Did you find a Tai Chi walking app? I didn't. I've not done any of that. I just made my own version up, but I know you can get all this chair Tai Chi thing and the walking Tai Chi thing. It's all the rage, isn't it? Well, you know, it's not the rage. You're meant to be calm, and you're not. But I just do this really slow walking. I've just got into it. I think it's helping. It's helping me keep away from the demon drink. Not that I was having a lot, but just, oh God. That was a bit mad, that 9 hours, wasn't it? But, I mean, thanks for everybody who was there, came along in bits, and that was a bit, I don't know what, couldn't stop, you know. Couldn't stop. Topsy-turvy. I just read the new document. Oh, yeah, the new document. There's some interesting stuff about the grievance, isn't there? I read a little bit about that. And the guy who looked into it, what's his name again? He was from the pharmacy, wasn't he? Doctor, I forget his name. But he goes at the end of it, it might be worthwhile Lucy Letby taking out a further specific thing to do with bullying and harassment regarding doctors Jayaram and Breary. And then another thing he says is, I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but he just says like, about when Lucy Letby's it's been arranged, she's coming back. Why should she not to the NNU? And then he goes, I don't know how it's a bit, foreboding. I don't know how the consultants are going to take it. Everyone's in favour of it. It's all being arranged. Last line is, I don't know how the consultants are going to take this. He could see something coming because, thanks for that topsy-turvy. Topsy-turvy. She likes it as much as a cat will when you present it with a gift. Yeah. Yeah, they're kind of interesting cats, aren't they? There's that saying about them. I've known 7 Zen masters in my time, and 6 of them were cats. Something like that. Around where I live, there's a really nice Norwegian forest cat. It seems to always sit on the top of a fence post, so it looks really uncomfortable, but it's there for ages. Norwegian forest cat. I've forgotten the name of your cat, Liz. Sorry, is it? You did tell me, but I've forgotten. My memory for names isn't great at the moment. Not that you have to say here, but I just forgot. Otherwise, I would say it. Well, that's the StreamYard thing. Simone, the nurse in Denmark, she's in prison, is she? And she claims she's innocent. Bullying culture in the hospital in Denmark. It seems endemic, doesn't it? I mean, I don't know if anyone's ever done anything about like going back into earlier times, were there cases like this then? I mean, there've been individual cases. I mean, there's this kind of case about this doctor who was down on the south coast. I think that was in the 40s and 50s, but he was never. He was supported by the GMC at the time and other local powerful people. He knew a lot of high ups in the police locally. I think this is around Bournemouth. His speciality was treating people who had retired to the seaside and mostly older ladies, as it happened, and some guys as well. And quite a few of them died, and people thought he'd got away with a lot of things, but he was never actually brought to book. He had friends in high places politically. I can't think of his name just now, but some people think he was like a Dr. Shipman guy, but the GMC, always other people came into bat for him, and he never got brought to book. You know, if he did do it, some people think he did. Yeah, you don't want a mirror ball so big hanging in your living room that you keep banging your head on it. Yeah, that's true. I don't want that, because I like to move around in the living room. I'd like put music on and move around, so I don't want to keep banging my head on it. I need something else. I think I need more fairy lights and coloured ones. Although if I do it in black and white, it doesn't really show the colour, does it? But for me, you know. And yeah, so that's a good point, Deborah. Chris Green, that's the guy. Chris Green said, I could call it up, but you know, the gist of it is, I don't know what the consultants are going to think about this. You know, I don't know if they'll accept it. And then he says, I think maybe it would be worthwhile, Lucy Let Be, you know, under the auspices of the harassment and bullying, what would you call it, policies of the trust, under the policies of the trust, to do a specific thing to do with the terrible twosome Jairam and Breary for bullying and harassment. You know, just you'll have to shout topsy-turvy. Oh, have I missed something? Chris Green. Oh, you have to shout. I see. Yeah, I've seen it. That's brilliant. Yeah, I got it. I got there eventually. Thank you. Thank you. I saw a really good song that Carl did, a soul song on his channel. Carl Perkins, you know, according to Carl, really good. And I just watched Dan play a beautiful piece of music, and with a church organ, and at the same time as playing the flute. Dan Court, and Tim Blackwood doing some lovely songs. So quite a lot of music going on, and Kaz doing lovely songs, and other people as well, I'm sure. Martha, oh, thank you, Martha. Yeah, oh, brilliant. I might forget again. I'm sorry if I do, but I just forget. But Martha, there's a good Tom Waits song called Martha. It's about these two people that meet, and they were like sweethearts when they were much younger, and then they meet like decades afterwards, after they got married, and I think he rings her up or something. Yeah, it's a really good song called Martha. House of Dragon, that's a good name, isn't it? When do you think the CCRC will refer the case to the Court of Appeal? That's a good question. I don't know what anyone else thinks. I don't know how it's interwoven with this Thirlwall report, or if it's conditional upon it, or I don't know what the powers that be or the powers that should not be, what they're thinking. I mean, does any of us know what they're thinking? What are they playing at, and what are they doing? You know, I hope it's soon. House of Dragon, and Mary's the dog. Yeah. Oh, lovely. Yeah, Martha and Mary. I'll write that down. So I went to forget. Let me write it on my thing. Martha the cat, Mary the dog. But I might forget. If I do, it's nothing personal. I just forget things. But yeah, bless Mary and Martha. And Buddy the dog as well, Deborah's dog. And anyone else who's got pets. I'm following Deborah's dog on Twitter now. Buddy the ball collector, is it? Buddy the ball something. I made some biscuits today. They've all turned out quite nicely. It's always different every time because I think I've got the thickness is slightly different. So I did it at 160, but it took over 20 minutes doing like that. I think I'd done it at 180 before, but they turned out all right. Anyway, how many more documents are Thirlwall going to release? Why in dribs and drabs? When is it going to conclude? Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? What a weird thing to do, to kind of like, why are they doing that like that? I mean, if we could ask them, they wouldn't be able to hear us because when we speak, it just sounds like noise. All they hear is noise, so it'd be like, ah. But if we could ask them and they'd say, well, we're doing it because of this reason. I don't even know if they know why they're doing it. It's just, it's all, I did a tweet about it. Not about that specific bit, but about the idea that they're reporting on something that didn't happen. And they're ignoring all the stuff that did happen. So it's going to be weird. Whatever they say is going to be kind of weird, and I think they're stuck with that. They're in a corner in some ways. When is it going to conclude? Well, somebody else said on Twitter that they think that it's going to be postponed again. It's going to be postponed again because it's the CCRC have got to do something. But then the CCRC might get postponed because of this Sean Edwards having been taken off the case, as it were. Or maybe that gives them an excuse to postpone it further. Oh, we've got to look at it all through again because Sean's gone. Good old Sean has gone. Sean, who loved Hummingbird and thought it was the best thing since sliced bread. He's gone, you see. So we're going to have to start again. I hope not, but you know. Tim Kent says the CCRC is limited by the new evidence hurdle, so procedural errors are a good basis for an appeal. Yes, that's true, isn't it? Somebody else mentioned something about a procedural error on Twitter, and it was something specific, and I can't remember what it was. But there's procedural errors, there's procedural... What's something that's not an error? It's the deliberate... there's deliberate... What would you call it? Can't think of the word when you're doing something. Negligence and malfeasance, negligence, as well as errors, I would say. Dr. Watt also seems to think so. You know, yeah, let's hope they get it done, you know. Moritz and the BBC in general have gone, this is House of Dragon, have gone very quiet on the Lucy Letby case. Does anyone know why? Yeah, I was listening to the radio some weeks ago, and I happened to hear Judith Moritz, but she was talking about a completely different subject. I can't remember what it was. I think it was something to do with adoption and things like that. Adoption, and then people finding it hard to not getting the support after adopting children. I think that's what it was about. So they're doing lots of other things, but I don't know if that's the only reason. And there's this thing I heard through, I don't know if they've put it out publicly, but they told me in a message or something that there was a connection between somebody high at the BBC and Goss. Some kind of connection there. And I can't remember the other guy's name, the BBC's guy's name. Anywho, I think Moritz and coffee. I'm trying to think of something silly to say about coffee. The cream in his coffee. You're the cream in my coffee. I'm not going to get anywhere with that, am I? He's a he's a something short of a latte. Something. Anyway, I don't want to be too mean, but there we are. Shamed themselves with the panorama. They did, of course they did. Ventilated shift error, yeah, terrible. Topsy Turvy saying it's for the best they've gone quiet. Yes, they should be quiet about it now, as they will bring more shame to themselves and the BBC. Yeah, good point there, Topsy. Zana Council says, cup of tea with poetry. We all enjoyed the video of your little Mary. Yeah, it was lovely when she was walking along. Lovely. If that's the one you mean, Deborah. Or maybe there's one after that, wasn't there, I think? Mary, yeah, Mary the dog. Tom Rogers online says, I don't believe they will refer it. I think at least some of the convictions appear to be unsafe. So maybe the more distant future, some of the convictions will be overturned on technical grounds. You don't think they will refer it to the Court of Appeal? I think there's so much. I think it's, I don't understand how they cannot refer it, but it's a strange organisation, the CCRC. I'm not sure what it actually is in reality, you know. Technical grounds. It's just like, it's obvious that Lucy Letby's innocent, and they're just making a terrible meal of it because they don't want to change it. They don't want to, you know. I'll put the link in again if anybody wants to. Thank you, Tom Rogers. Liz says, thanks, Deborah. Buddy the Border Collie, yeah. Yes, he has got a lot of followers, yeah. Buddy the Border Collie. I think it's in what I said about the ball collecting, or the ball, that's in the profile note, isn't it? He has 4 times more followers than I do. Oh, bless him. He's an influencer. Buddy the Collie is an influencer. That's what we need. Get some better influences. So Buddy's doing some good influencing. And Tom Rogers says, I think someone earlier referred to the Hansen case. Is that the name of it, in Denmark? That case presents an excellent contrast between the two legal systems. Hansen was convicted by a jury, but the message must go on. I'm assuming here that in Danish law they're inquisitorial, are they? Rather than, I always forget the word, adversarial. But Denmark's criminal justice watchdog and appeal court were prepared to reduce the murder convictions to manslaughter on technical grounds. It's weird with that, isn't it? I mean, I don't understand these systems in the sense that, I mean, either there was a crime or there wasn't one. You've got to be careful that they don't try to. Before I found Tai Chi walking, when I used to lose my mind on the videos more often, I got really upset about an article where this guy says, well, I'm not saying Lucy Letby didn't do it. I'm just saying we couldn't prove it, type of thing. And he was kind of ostensibly on the side, but I thought that's awful, because what an awful thing to kind of that system to say, oh, well, we still think you might have done it, but we didn't. It's not beyond reasonable doubt. That would be hideous. And it would be hideous for the parents as well, because they actually need to know and need to have it explicit, and to go through a process in respect of medical negligence, corporate negligence in many cases, which some of them were already in that system back in 2017, back in 2015, in the cases of babies, parents of babies A and D, I think. Pretty sure they're the two, or two of them. I'm speaking quieter because I think I usually speak too loud. House of Dragon, the CCRC might have to start again because Sean Edwards has tainted it. Could you imagine? Yeah. I can't remember who was saying it on the Twitter, or maybe in comments as well, that because he's kind of like tainted it, do you have to kind of get rid of all the other ones as well, whoever they are, And I think they're kind of people, they're still working from home and stuff like that, because they put out an advert looking for more staff, or not commissioners. They used another term. What was it? Case sort of investigators. There was another term, but it was, they all work from home still. And I thought when there was that kind of parliamentary panel thing where they brought in the previous 2 managers and they ended up leaving or being told to leave their post, that they were telling them you can't have people just working from home. I don't know if it would make any difference though if they did work from home. Tom Rogers says, my point being that the English system is reluctant to the point of neurosis to overturn jury convictions. Yeah, I know, that's what they seem to be, but who is this? And I say system all the time, but it's specific people, isn't it? It's specific people in the Court of Appeal. And they're able to change how they go about things. They're able to, I mean, this system wasn't created by God or anything. It was just made up by human beings, and it can be improved and made better. And that's what they need to do. But if they're kind of blocking it, then they've got to go. If there's people in there that are blocking it, but then does it make you wonder whether, well, it makes me wonder that they're deliberately there, you know. In other words, people outside of it want them to be there to block it and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, lovely buddy. He's doing well at influencing. I watched a little video today, Deborah, of yours when you were going around Little Hampton in the rain, and Buddy was there. But there was that beautiful, really nice shop with some really nice like antique things in it, or antique-y type things. Really good. Little Hampton in the Rain. It's a good song title or title of a play. House of Dragon says, it would be truly stunning if the CCR didn't refer it to the COA. Yes, I think so too. And what possible reasons would they give, you know? The volume of academics and experts calling out the verdict as unsafe is extraordinary. It is unprecedented. Yeah, it is, isn't it? And I think what's unprecedented in many ways is, I think it is anyway, is that as soon as, or even before the jury gave their findings or whatever, before the convictions, it was already so much disquiet about it. And then as soon as it happened, as soon as all those terrible findings of guilt came out, the pushback's immediate and constant, and has never let up immediately. It hasn't had a lag, and there's just been like a few people. It's just been building, or I'll do it that way, building, and it's never stopped. It's never stopped. Topsy, have you written any new songs recently, Mark? Mr. Vexatious. I was thinking about that in bed last night. A song called Mr. Vexatious. I should do that one. I might get Suno, the AI, to do it. Mr. Vexatious, yeah. It's mad that I asked them to review their decision, but they haven't come back to me yet. I'll write to the ICO. We do need some comprehensive data for mortality and stillbirths at the moment. At the moment, there's a kind of split between using data from a 2024, 2025 stroke Thirlwall data for the NNU, and 2018 data for the stillbirths. I don't think that's satisfactory personally, and I don't trust any of it. And also wanted it split up into months and weeks as well. And that was one of the seven or eight outstanding ones where they just said, you know, you're part of a campaign, you're vexatious. It's all projection, isn't it? Because the vexation is on their side. In other words, they're angry about getting all these requests for information. I know it's got a legal term that you're doing it in order to do what? Make them angry. No, it's to get information that we need. We need it all. We absolutely do. Hi, Jenny. Have I missed anything important? Haven't we? We talked about lava lamps and fiber optics. Yeah, the latest Thirlwall dump. There's a bit from Chris Green that Topsy Turvy told us his name, where it goes. Where he goes. Oh well, you know, you should. You could consider, Lucy Letby could well consider doing a specific further complaint. I think that's how I read it, about Doctors Jayaram and Breary for bullying and harassment, you know, take it further under the policies of the trust. And a kind of foreboding warning in which he says, with regard to Lucy Letby coming back on the unit, oh, everyone else is in favour of it, the nursing management, the higher management, you know, Ian Harvey and all that lot, Chambers. But I don't know, he goes, I don't know how the consultants are going to deal with it. I don't know what they're going to think of it. He knew, didn't he, that there would be trouble. There'd be trouble ahead with them. He knew. Hope you're doing well, Jenny, and hope your brother's doing well. House of Dragon, CCRC, WFH, deciding the fate of a woman's life while loading their dishwasher. Wow, yeah. Oh yes, no, I've thought about that. You know, they come down in the morning, feed the cat, put the dishwasher on, get one of those cafetières, and then start looking through what? Through the panels. Through the panels finding, and then just like sit there and just like then watch Cash in the Attic, and then go back to it. Is that what it is? And then spend years doing that. Hi, Operation Merlin Falcon, good to see you. The CCRC described the lead investigator as CCRC staff. He did, didn't he? Which, well, they did, sorry. Which sort of, you could infer from that who are the other people? Scotch Mist, you know, are they staff? or are they on a different kind of contract? This recent advert that they put out, I can't remember the name of the job title, but it wasn't commissioner. But are they staff then? Are they on a, you know? So I thought they're all staff, aren't they? Are they not staff? Are they freelancers? And then he's a staff member. It's all weird, isn't it? It's all weird. It's all weird. It's not right, is it? Do we know yet why Lucy Letby's defence at trial did not call any experts to counter Dewey Evans? He's never said, has he? And then Professor Hawley says, I think he's been on record saying, I don't know why I wasn't. But excuse me, I'm just going to turn my camera off for a second, blow my nose. How do I take the camera off? How do I do that? I can't do it. Oh dear. Mute mic. How do I stop mic cam? Stop mic. Oh, I'm back. But I haven't got the camera on. I didn't want to sort of expose the world to my playing the old hooter. So yeah, I'm not sure, Tom Rogers. Shall I leave it like that without me in the picture? I don't know. So yeah. Oh yeah, we're talking about why didn't they call either of them? Well, there was that thing about, they wanted to do it case by case, but they wouldn't let them, you know. Prosecution do baby A, defense do baby A, but Goss didn't allow that to happen. I don't know if that's the only reason. And then there's the elephant in the room, which is there. Professor Hall's, what do you call it? Professor Hall's, I'm forgetting the word, deferral to Hindmarsh, and the other guys whose name I've forgotten now. I know his name because I did a video about it, but I've forgotten it. His outright agreement with Hindmarsh. Mute mic. How do I get my thing back now then? Oh, I got it. Oh, I'm back. Oh, I've lost my... I wanted to be black and white and all kind of moody. How do I do that now? I've ruined it all. Oh, God. Black. Where's my black and white? General. Visual effects. I have green screen. Oh, that's it. I've done it. I've done it again. Oh, God, that was hard. But anyway, Empress says, not Empress says, Jenny says, Empress, it'd be good if the Empress came on, wouldn't it? It's all a bit washed out now. Empress says, you are the Duke of Vexatious. Yeah, true. She's right. She's not wrong. I am. It's no good for your health, though, being constantly vexatious, is it? Quite a long time ago, I was deemed vexatious by an NHS trust where I grew up, and that's another story. That's after a 5-year-long battle to do with a loved one's care, and that's how they kind of ended it. But it was a long battle, that was. Liz says, hi, OMF, and Jenny. And Operation Merlin Falcon says, oh, where's Merlin Falcon? What's happened? Where's Operation Merlin Falcon gone? Has he gone? What did I do wrong there? Oh, God. Things are going really wrong for me tonight. Comments. That's it. Comments. Where's Operation Merlin Falcon gone? Did I do something? Oh, God. Guests. No, I didn't. I just clicked on it to click on the... Oh, maybe he left. I don't know. Did I do something wrong there? Don't tell me I did that. What did I do? No, you can't do anything from... Oh, God. I'm worried that I might have accidentally deleted Operation Merlin Falcon. I meant to click on it to get, to get it on there. Or he might have just left though, mightn't he? He might have just left. Oh, God, what have I done? How do I, I can't do it. I don't know. Private chat, I don't want that. I'm a bit worried because I just clicked on Operation Merlin Falcon's message and then he disappeared and then I can't see him before. Oh no, he is there. He is there. So look, if I press... Oh, he is there. Thank God for that. I was worried for a minute. Do you know, I just thought I accidentally deleted something. Anyway. Oh, I've got to catch up now. Vexatious. Oh, the brother's doing great. Oh, that's fantastic. Oral surgery this Friday. Hope that all goes well. Hope that all goes well. If he doesn't behave, I become Nurse Ratchet. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I hope that all goes well there. Tom says Lady Thirlwall should have her own song, maybe a duet with Dewey. Yeah, what could they sing? Dewey and Lady T. Dewey, is her name Janet Thirlwall? Is it Janet? Dewey and Janet. There was that song that was in the 80s or 90s with Renee and Renata. This is probably a terrible idea, but save your love, my darling, save your love. They were like Italian sort of duet. Save your love, my darling, save your love. That could be Lady Thirlwall and God, the hair's probably ridiculous. Lady T and Dewey. He's all in mustard, like a mustard jumpsuit, and Lady T is sort of dressed up as Catwoman. That's my tortured mind. Lady Thirlwall in the song unloading a dishwasher. Well, I'm missing something with the dishwasher. But I don't. It's good. I like it, but I've missed a joke somewhere. But I don't. Yeah. Oh, of course. I think we were talking about it, weren't we? Yeah. People at home with the CCRC. She's unloading a dishwasher. She's holding the plate up and saying, "Oh, it's beautifully clean." Oh, what was I doing? I was doing an inquiry into some, what was it again? Oh, I've forgotten what it was. Oh, I'll get back to the dishwasher. I'm sure I've got a report on this inquiry soon. I want to break free. Yeah, that's a good one as well. Save your love. Look at Renee and Renee and Renato. Save your love, my darling, save your love. It was hard to get experts to bat for the defence, yeah, it was, I guess, and they would have been in fear of being shunned by the NHS. That's all changed now. Well, I mean, I listened to the Wayne Squire interview, a very good interview with Chris interviewing Dr. Wayne Squire, and it seemed as though they're just as worried as ever. Like, you know, it's particularly like to do with the subject of shaken baby syndrome, because then they have to get experts from abroad because they see, the British ones see what happened to Dr. Squire, and they don't want any of that. And there's still quite a lot of people believing that the old shaken baby syndrome, the three signs of it, or the three aspects of it: the subdural bleeding, the bleeding behind the eyes, and the encephalopathy, the swelling of the brain. I can't remember how you pronounce it. It's hard to keep it all in your head, isn't it? But that was a really good interview. Thirlwall in the town hall in Liverpool could be a Beatles-style song. Yeah, it could be, couldn't it? Like, I'm thinking of that one. I wish I didn't have the number here of people. I've got to try and find a way to get rid of that. It just puts me, because it keeps changing, and I'm thinking, am I meant to think something about that? And I don't want to. Not that it's nothing to do with, numbers for me, but it just puts me off a bit. I don't want to know what the numbers is. Thirlwall, I'm thinking of, what's that song with Penny Lane, like a Penny Lane type of thing, isn't it? Lady Thirlwall in the da 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 dee da 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 da. She hears everything as noise. It's a clean machine. Send it to the CCRC. Something like that. Anyway, sorry about that. Love it, but only if she dresses like Freddie Mercury. Yeah, with a moustache and everything. Yeah. I'm going to find out how to get rid of that number. Not now, because Lady Thirlwall with a Freddie moustache. Oh, great minds, you see. Great minds. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? It's just all very weird and surreal. but true. Tom Rogers says, talking to House of Dragon, if that were true, why did all the experts come forward? It's nothing to do with it anyway, because Dr. Hall he came forward, but I really don't know what to think of those. Well, I do know, but I know what to think, that I think they didn't help Lucy in any way whatsoever. Even if they had been seen by the jury and heard by them, they didn't help because of the insulin. That's my take on it. Excellent lyrics, yeah. Oh, I missed it. Tom Rogers says, I want to break free from this conspiracy. I'm so sub-satisfied. I don't need it. I want to break free. God knows I'm sick of this conspiracy. Yeah. Yeah. That is good. So that's good. And then Dewey says, it's strange, but it's true. I can't get over how I messed it all up. Lucy's innocent. I'm on the floor. Somebody rescue me. Somebody rescue me. And then he's being picked up by one of those kind of like claws that kind of claw into, I don't mean like, we'll just kind of grab the mustard jumper, and he's being like hanging by his mustard jumper off the stage, and then being like moved off slowly like that to the applause, to applause. Massive applause and cheering. I don't like this. Oh, I know what I did wrong now. I know what I did wrong. Is more dirt going to be dished on some of the other prosecution experts' witnesses? I thought Marna Reeders has a dodgy history. There's something with Marna Reeders where there was a father that was accused of, I think it was manslaughter in the end, I think, and he said he didn't do it. And the father, there was an article I read quite a long time ago where the father saying Dr. Marna Reeders ordered the cremation of his son without permission, or without the family's permission. It was just, there's only like one or two articles about that, and I don't know if anything ever came of it thereafter. I think the man was put in prison, but I don't know if he's still trying to clear his name or what the situation is there. But Marna Reeders just, like Gibbs, he phoned it in, and he just basically copied pretty much what Evans has said. He didn't do any of his own stuff, and he's talked a lot of crap about I'll say tambourines. I don't mean not tambourines. What are those bouncy things called? Oh God, what are they called? What are they called? Trampolines. And pots in the desert and weird stuff. And he's agreed to all the nasogastric stuff, the air down the milk. He's agreed to all that rubbish. Just phoned it in, just didn't care. Just went with it all. That's Marna Reeders. Lady T always reminds me of Crystal Tips and Alistair with her hairdo. Yeah, Crystal Tips and Alistair, that was good. I used to watch that. And Rhubarb and Custard. It's a similar vintage. And Bagpuss. We're going to have to recast all these people as cartoons from the 70s and 80s, or 60s, 70s, 80s. Bagpuss. I don't want anybody like Professor Yaffle. There's a Professor Yaffle in Pitkins, I think. He's like a bird I think he's a bookend. He's like a wooden bird. Professor Yaffle. I'm not sure who he is then. Thurwell. Oh, how I want to break free. Yeah. Simone says, Jenny, missed your videos. Come back with them soon. Yeah, I missed them as well. And looking forward to more of those. From the Hillbilly State. I'm only saying that because Jenny says that at the beginning of the videos. Is Jenny from the Hillbilly State? Tom Rogers says, yes, Beatles would be better, actually, about help. Yeah, help. That's true, yeah. Here, there, and everywhere. You could do something with that as well. Here, there, and everywhere. They made up information here, there, and everywhere. Help. Yeah, that's a good one. Simone, I will be back once I got brother healed. Yeah, absolutely. It's a priority. Totally understand. And divorce. Oh, see, I've got behind with the comments now. I can't keep up. I'm slow and I'm getting older and my brain's slowing down and it's just natural, isn't it? I hope your brother gets better soon, Jenny. Yeah, I do too. Oh, I'm glad you're here. I was worried, Merlin, that I'd done something wrong when I clicked on your comment. Really loving the gardening videos as well that you've been doing and the raised beds. The kale looks fantastic you've got. I know you said it's bolted a bit, but it looks great. And the arugula and the radishes, you've got the lettuce and tomato. You're doing tomatoes as well, and lots of things in it. Cilantro as well, which I didn't realise was the same as coriander, but a different part of the plant, isn't it? Coriander's the seed, so I had to look it up. I used to like carrot and coriander soup, but I kind of went off it. I might try it again. I've got to start making some soup, so I've got a book on soup. LOL. I'm not sure what that's a reference to, but it's probably to do with the songs we're doing. Laugh out loud. Cup of tea, brother on the mend. Oh yeah, cup of tea, brother on the mend, all's well. That's good. It's good to hear. Great news. It is good news. He is appearing in the chat. Oh, thanks, Simone. That's when I was getting worried before, wasn't it? I'm just catching up to that bit now. There's always a lag. I'm in a different time zone. Good to hear, Jenny, and hope your brother's okay too. That's nice, isn't it? Lucy in the sky with diamonds, yeah. Lucy in the dock is innocent. Lucy in the dark is innocent. Yeah, that's a good one to use as well. There's this theory that it was made. I heard this thing. It was a video about, and they were saying it was apocryphal. It wasn't true. That it's to do with LSD. LSD, Lucy, Sky, Diamonds, LSD, and it was somebody. Somebody said it wasn't to do with that. It was something else. It was something to do with a drawing that one of the children, what's his name? John Lennon's child did of a like diamonds and somebody flit a girl in the sky or something. That it's based on a child's drawing rather than LSD, but I don't know. Topsy Turvy says, I used to live near Penny Lane. Oh, brilliant. It's got a lot of speed bumps. It's a pretty boring street. Not sure how it deserved a song. Isn't there a fire engine there that's all kind of gleaming? In the song, anyway. Yeah, I'll have to look at the lyrics of that again. So that's funny. You live there. Interesting. I didn't. When I went to Liverpool last year, I didn't go up to there. I just I didn't go there. I didn't go to the cavern either. Operation Merlin Falcon says, before you write this song, I was hoping you could start the book we were talking about, the invention of a serial killer case. Yeah, that is an interesting idea for a book. Somebody inventing a serial killer. Well, that's exactly what they've done, isn't it? That's exactly what they've done. I'm trying to think of, well, I suppose, yeah, they did that with Lucia de Burgh, didn't they? And they did it with, I can't remember the lady's first name, but Poggiani, and they did it with, in all likelihood, Ben Geen and Colin Norris, and possibly Victorina Chua, but I've never really looked into those. I know other people have. I think Mark MacDonald believes that many of them are innocent. It's a good idea, Merlin. Was Penny Lane near a recording studio? I'm not sure if it was. Hi, Pete Maley. Yeah, I wonder where they did the recording. I watched some stuff about the Beatles, and they tried to kind of put it into all this thing about the Tavistock Institute. Because Paul McCartney used to go out with Jane Asher, who ended up like making cakes, didn't she? She was an actress, and she did all this cake making. But her father, what did he commit suicide? But he was very much linked to, I think, the Tavistock Clinic. He was linked to, I can't remember what he did, but he was kind of linked to something a bit strange in the psychological realm. I'll have to look it up, I've forgotten it. But Jane Asher's father and Paul McCartney lived in the house with her, or stayed with her at the father's house for a time. I haven't got all the facts in my head to relate, but there's something about that with what was going on with Jane Asher's father, who I think may have killed himself. It's a bit of a strange end he had. Sad end. Oh, Tom Rogers says he used to live on Penny Lane back in the 90s. Amazing. I remember the day I bought the house. Bunch of Japanese tourists literally turned up in a coach and started photographing the street sign. Fantastic. That's amazing. I used to live in West Malvern, and that's near Great Malvern or Malvern. Malvern. I think there I can't remember which one they say there, but Japanese, there used to be certain times of the year quite a lot of Japanese tourists around there. It's near the Malvern Hills. But the reason that some of these tourists come is because of the Morgan cars, beautiful cars. One of the only brands of cars where they're not on an assembly line. I think they make them all, they must use some machines, but they kind of make them all by hand, or in the old kind of carriage work style. And I think there's like years and years of a waiting list to get a new Morgan car. I don't know if Jenny and OMF, if you know the Morgan cars, they're very stylish looking ones, expensive, but you used to see them quite a little bit. The factories near Malvern, but you get Japanese, some people there like wearing a Morgan sweatshirts and a cap and things like that, you know. That's interesting, Tom. Asked the neighbour and he said they're always turning up. Yeah, I suppose it's just the way it is, yeah. There's a recording studio on Lark Lane, not far from Penny Lane. Interesting. Does anybody believe this thing about Paul McCartney having died in a car crash or something, and then he was replaced by a different one? There's that kind of theory, or conspiracy theory, or whatever you'd call it. Myth. Topsy Turvy says the street sign on Penny Lane used to get nicked all the time. All right, people took it as a souvenir. Peter Maley, loved your find, Susie Holt on RCPCH Advisory Board for Palliative Care. Yeah, that is good. That was good. Yeah, very interesting. Who else is involved with the palliative care now? Someone else. There's someone else that ended up with palliative care position. I can't remember. I'm not holding on to the information like I did, maybe because I was away for a few days, but you can't, can you though? You can't hold on to it all in your head all the time, can you? Topsy-turvy. I don't remember the sign getting nicked, but I do remember the tourists. It was weird, and they were Japanese, walking stereotypes. I suppose they love it. They they love seeing all the Beatles related things. I'd like to go to Japan. Never been that kind of far, really. I'd like to go to Japan or China. The tourists are still there. They're still there. I suppose you get them from all over Europe, wouldn't you? Like Germany, Scandinavia, France, all over the world, wouldn't you? In Liverpool. What's going on now? Jenny says, oh, I missed it. I did it wrong. Proud hillbilly. Proud hillbilly. Hillbillies are honest and don't deal well with bullshit. Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. That's fantastic. No, I love how you do the intro to that. It's great. It'd be nice to go to America as well and do that thing where you drive a car like Jack Kerouac type of thing on the road, you know, from the east coast to the west. I'd like to do that one day, but I doubt I ever will, but it'd be good to try it. You'd have to be careful, wouldn't you, though? You'd have to, you have to be careful. You know, because it's such a long way and you kind of know what you're doing a little bit. Jenny, did I find that? Oh, that was to do with the palliative care. Hi, Glennis. Hope you're doing well there. Nice to see you there. I was going to stop after an hour. Peter Naylor, you posted it in comments on Mark's latest video. I was able to confirm. How the hell did she rise to a prestigious thing? Yeah, because that was the other thing about Dr. What's her name? The one you're talking about, because I think I thought anyway, she'd only just rocked up at COCH in 2016, but she did her training there and she was there for years, she was there for years before. She was there before the indictment period, So I wonder if she was there. I'm not sure if she was there when Michelle Warden was there. Maybe. So that's that comment. Paul McCartney used to catch a bus on Penny Lane. All right. Gosh. Have you seen that photograph of them when they're like literally 15 years old? So it says in the photo, in one of the living rooms of either Paul McCartney or George Harrison's house or John Lennon's house. I'm not sure which one, but they're like 15, incredible. Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, after a drawing that Julian Lennon did. Thank you, Topsy. Yeah, that's what I'd heard as well. But it's become this thing where a lot of people think, or was also said that it's to do with LSD. But night, Liz. Lovely to see you. All the best. Sleep well there. Take care. Oh wait, Peter Nelly. It was Showalter. Oh yeah, Showalter hates me or something, isn't it? Or doesn't Showalter? It doesn't like me. Capital M, capital E. That posted it. Still, always, I like your comments though. Yeah, it's great comments from Peter Maley. The Magical Mystery Tour bus visits Penny Lane. Yeah, I should have done that when I was in Liverpool, but things went a bit awry, and I had to leave. Things went south, as they say. Thanks, Jenny. Thought I was going more nuts for a minute there. Rock Dodger, nice to see you. Nice to see you there. Lovely to see you. Jenny, sorry if I've missed anybody's comment. Peter Maley, I am more nuts than you. Trust me, it's the moonshine. Yeah, it's competitive nuts thing. I'm nuts as we're all nuts. My dad used to say, you've got to go a bit mad to stay sane. That's one of his sayings. My dad. Lol at jar. Topsy Turvy says the real Cavan got knocked down. Right, the Cavan on Matthew Street isn't the real one. Oh, okay. Okay. It's the next door warehouse. No one realises, but it wasn't where the Beatles played. A tourist scam. All right. I saw this documentary about who was the manager, Epstein. That was interesting as well. Kind of his background and how I think his family had a furniture shop or something, and he died young, didn't he? Drug overdose or something. We're getting to the other bits I was talking about. Jane Asher's father, I believe. Yes, Munchausen's proxy. Thank you. I think that was it, yeah. He was a hematologist and should not have gone into the psych stuff. Kind of linked with this thing called Tavistock Clinic, who some people believe was very sort of instrumental in changing or putting out cultural change agents into society in Britain and maybe abroad as well. Operation Merlin Falcon says, I used to know a Penny that lived down the lane. That's good. Penny, I don't think I've ever known anybody called Penny. There used to be a really good sitcom called Just Good Just Good Friends in the 80s, I think it was. And there was a character in that called Penny. It was a really nice, gentle comedy with, can't remember the main actor, blondish hair he's got. And it was good. They'd been in a relationship and they'd met up years later. Heather Yoxall. Oh, Heather Yoxall. Thank you, Topsy. God, this is fantastic wealth of knowledge here from people that, keep all this. Because you just can't keep it all in your head, can you? Not all of it. Heather Yoxall, other doctor, so that's the daughter, and with the brewery kind of, that was working as a kind of not an intern, but doing a training and stuff like that, wasn't it? That brewery had facilitated that. Heather Yoxall is the other doctor in palliative care at Alderhay, I think. Yeah, I think that's the one. I think that's the one that was on my mind, but I couldn't think who it was. Asher wrote about Munchausen. Then John Money. Yeah, I've come across John Money. Here in America started the Munchausen by proxy. Roy Meadows then stole it from John Money and ran with it. And then Southall helped Roy Meadow. And then Evans ran with that. It's just like one step after another, isn't it, really? I'll put the link out again in case anybody wanted to chat, but I might go to bed in a little while. So that's really interesting potted history there, Jenny, how it all worked. And Heather Yoxall did a presentation as a fellow in palliative care with Susie Holt. Yeah. So Susie Holt has a long history with the COCH, now at Alderhay, as we know. I wrote to Susie Holt, or Susanna Holt, but she didn't write back. I just wrote to her and I said, not a, just a civil letter, just say, look, you must know that this is wrong, what's happened here. Can you please come forward? And please come forward. It was to an NHS address. I'll do it as a one-off thing, there's always a danger, particularly in the climate that we're in the UK now, in which they want to jump on people for so-called malicious communications. And so a one-off thing is okay, I think. E-Symmetry just joined a Milan Kundera reference. Yeah, I don't know if I finished the point. He wrote a brilliant book called The Art of the Novel, about writing novels. It's fantastic. I love that book. I read some of his other ones. Hi there, AHD Media UK. Nice to see you. Nice to see you, Symmetry. Just walking the doggo and listening in. Oh, that's nice. That's interesting. So you can listen and walk the dog. Oh, that's nice. Tom Rogers says, we want Superintendent Hughes back on your channel, Mark. I've been trying to get him, but he's he was been in Ibiza. He was in Ibiza for a couple of weeks with the lads. Yeah, he's hard to pin down lately. He could do a video explaining how he uses statistics in his day-to-day work, a way of refuting Professor Gill. Yeah, I think he could do. I think Officer Hughes could have a crack at that. I'm not sure I can find it in my psyche to be. It wasn't anything like him, I know that, but it was just channeling a kind of energy. I don't think I want to do it anymore because it disturbs me, and then I need like loads of therapy. I don't know if they're all facets of my own tortured mind, but Hughes kind of, it's just like he's a bit manic in that, but he's not particularly manic, is he? He's just, although that picture of him carrying that flagpole when they went to, was it Washington or New York? On that, I sent a FOI to Cheshire Police asking them how much that cost and who paid for it, because he went with, I think, 2 or 3 other officers. Anything that we can put out there, I think, which adds pressure to Cheshire Police, I think wouldn't be a bad thing. I don't think, not making anything up, but just to say that, look, you know, you're behaving in a way that is pretty bad, you know. And David Davis is, and that's what he's doing. He's calling them to account, isn't he, David Davis? Which is fair enough. Ah, Paul Nicholas, thank you, Christopher Smethurst. Yeah, great Paul Nicholas. I hope he's still alive. Did he end up in EastEnders for a bit? He's a good actor, and I can't remember the actress's name, but she was called Penny, or he called her Pen in it. And Paul Nicholas, he goes to meet her parents in one of it. I don't know if this will translate, OMF and Jenny and anyone else abroad, but he goes to meet her parents, and they ask him what he does for a living, and he says, I'm an accountant. And then they go, oh, what kind of accountant? And he goes, turf accountant, which is another name for a bookie. That's something I remember from the 1980s. I remember that things a long time ago, but anyway, enough of that hilarity. Well, maybe not enough of it, but I feel a bit calmer now. When I try to do technical things, it goes wrong. Is there any actual evidence for the existence of factitious disorder? Factitious disorder. I've always been a bit skeptical about psychology. This is Tom Rogers. I've a bit more respect for psychiatry, but even that seems questionable. Yeah, I'm doubtful about a lot of this sort of stuff. When you say factitious disorder, Tom, are you referring particularly to the Munchausen thing? I was interested in psychology. I got into, many years ago, into reading R.D. Laing, and also bits of Thomas Satz, who I think was an American psychiatrist. Sometimes people refer to them as anti-psychiatrists, and Thomas Satz. And there's a guy called Jeffrey Masson who wrote a book called Against Therapy. He's a therapist himself, but he kind of had a kind of a epiphany where he began to think that some therapies are more harm than good. He goes through different ones, Rogerian, Freudian, Jungian. It's an interesting book. It's called Against Therapy, and he was trained as a therapist himself. Topsy Turvy says, Tom Rogers, I'm very suspicious of the DSM, yeah, and the psychological conditions. It's very flawed because it gets bigger every year, doesn't it? It gets bigger every year, and there are certain things that, because of society and culture has changed, certain things that were in it are no longer in it, and certain things that weren't in it are in it. So I'm not sure what factitious disorder exists. I'm not sure what that means. I'm not sure what the word factious or factitious. I don't. Factitious. Does that mean like? Are we talking about? Are we talking about Munchausen's there? True psychiatrists believe it's rare. It's pediatricians that love it. Oh yeah, I think you're talking about it, isn't it? I didn't know that. I didn't know it was called that, factitious. They historically have used to silent mums. Yeah. There was a group of, I think mostly mums, I think nearly all, I think, who were mums against, there was an acronym they used, Mothers Against Munchausen's, or Diagnosis of Munchausen's, and there's this letter that was signed by, I remember doing a video about it a few years ago now. Dowie Evans signed a letter, and a whole bunch, I think Gibbs signed it, or maybe Gibbs signed it, a couple of the other names we know. I know Dr. Evans signed it. And it was to do with, I don't know if it was in the BMJ, British Medical Journal, but it was to do with the idea of people making complaints and something to do with this group of Mothers Against Munchausen's. So there's all this kind of war going on between people that, yeah, I find it all very suspicious, the way they use it, and dangerous. Tom Rogers says, good point. Can a pediatrician diagnose factitious disorder? I didn't know that term, factitious disorder, or give medico-legal opinion on it. Is he or she qualified, assumed competent to do so? Well, that's the point, you know. Apparently, Evans did, in terms of the Bonnie Lewis splitting up the Bonnie Lewis from her mum and family. He seemed to do it, and they listened to him, and then one would have thought it came back to him that she had this, I can't remember the actual name of the condition, but it's a chronic stomach condition causing pain. So he knew he was wrong. So he just went with it. He went with it because he's a fan of Meadow and Southall. Hughes can barely say the word statistics. It's too complicated. Topsy-turvy. Statistics. Yeah, he gave the game away because, you know, it's not meant to be about statistics, is it? So they told us, which it obviously is, but you know. Jenny says there is suspicions that Munchausen proxy used by paediatricians to jail mums because the paediatricians have screwed up on the kids. Oh, right. Think Sally Clark. Her 2 sons died of staph. Yeah, that's the... Oh, it's terrible, isn't it? Terrible what they did to poor Sally Clark. And then they were trying to blame her husband as well. Then that Southall guy says, well, maybe the husband did it then. Oh, God. Dangerous people. Dangerous people. Stuart Gillam did some really interesting videos about Southall and some of the other experiments that he did with children and caused some of them harm, potentially, that he denies, of course. Southall denies. Tom Rogers says, Superintendent Hughes here, Mark. Call me Super. I'm sick of that Dickie Gill saying I can't use statistician or whatever you call it. Just last week, I was typing up this month's KPIs on Excel. That's brilliant. Thank you, Super. You are super. What's a KPI? I've heard of it. It's kind of, is it like modern business speak thing? KPI. What's KPI? I've heard of it, but I've forgotten what it is. But well done for doing that. Thank you, Super. No, a paediatrician can't. But they do, yeah, exactly. Evans did it. Again, it's rare. It's been thought up and used by guys who hate women. Well, the ex-wife of Meadow said it came out in an interview that was written up and said, I think he hates women. That was her view, and she was married to him. That's her view, that he didn't like women very much, or something of the sort. And that's Meadow. So yeah, and my throat's going a bit now. I think I should have made some honey and lemon or something. Christopher Smither says, no, that's a different Paul Nicholas. Used to watch it myself. Paul Nicholas, is it a different one? Oh, a different Paul. Oh, is it when I said about EastEnders? Yeah, there was Paul Nichols, wasn't it? Paul Nicholas. Yeah, there was that tall guy, younger guy. Yeah. Quite a few people end up in EastEnders. Olive from On the Buses, an old sitcom from the 70s. Ended up on and Barbara Windsor as well, of course. Shaken baby syndrome might be used also as a mean to cover up screw-ups by doctors. Yeah, I can imagine that. Oliver Sacks. Yeah, he was the guy who did that. I read his book, The Man Who Mistook His Wife for a Hat. And then they did that film where Robin Williams plays him. I don't know if it's loosely based on Oliver Sacks's cases or whatever. And Robert De Niro is the Awakening. Is it called Awakenings? That was a good film. I used to love Robert De Niro. I kind of went off him a bit in recent years, but I still think he's a great actor. Yes, I've read R.D. Laing. He's good. I was crazy for R.D. Laing for years, and I'm still fascinated by some of the books he wrote, particularly one called Sanity, Madness and the Family. He co-wrote that with another guy. Can't remember the other guy's name. But The Divided Self, Self and Others, I think there's another one. Is it Self? No, The Divided Self. And then he did some strange kind of poetry stuff. Something The Bird of Paradise. Yeah, he did some. Cooper, I think, is the other guy who wrote Sanity, Madness of the Family, the other researcher. I like anti-psychiatry, very interesting. Yeah, Thomas Zatz is an interesting guy. Zatz. It's quite hard to spell it. It's SZ and ASC, SZ or something. Interesting guy. Louise Woodward, wrongly accused of shaken baby. Yeah, she was an young English girl as a nanny in America, wasn't she? The parents are both doctors. Or was this the parents of the baby that she was looking after? Now it's believed the boy might have had a head birth injury. Yeah, the Dr. Wayne Squire interview was really interesting about that, and Chris did a kind of a potential perspective how many cases there are where people are being accused and convicted across this worldwide. It could be thousands, prospectively. Have you read anything on trauma-based psychiatry? Viz. Comparison with biological psychiatry. Have I? I don't think so. I don't think I have, Tom. No, that sounds interesting though. I mean, a lot of the what's his name? Oliver Sacks did some. Hi, Jim. Yeah, hi, Jim. Sorry, I didn't say hi. No, I haven't. But I think some of the conditions that Oliver Sacks was looking into was more like biological rather than psychiatric, wasn't it? I think. Oh, right. Thank you. Factitious disorder is a new name for Munchausen's. Factitious disorder is Munchausen syndrome by proxy, where it's called factitious order imposed on. Oh, God, so that's just the new name, is it? Thanks for that. I didn't know that. Factitious disorder imposed on another. So Munchausen's or factitious disorder is just you craving attention, but you're doing it to yourself. But then imposed on another is the proxy thing. They just dump that. I looked it up once, but Munchausen's goes back to a character in a book from hundreds of years ago, doesn't it? Or a play or a book. I can't remember. Southall now goes all over the world for UNICEF. Oh my God, does he? He creeps me out, yeah. Oh, that's appalling. Oh, KPI, Key Performance Indicator. Brilliant. Thank you. Fantastic. Yes. What's this say now? Louise Woodward also was from Cheshire. Yeah, Yorkshire's not that way. It's fascinating that all that's happening. Well, do you know what? It's been lovely to see you all. I think I'm gonna call. I've been going for an hour and 42 minutes, so I think I'm gonna wind down now. Or I'm gonna say cheerio. But thanks very much for coming on, everyone who has. And thanks for all the lovely comments and the really interesting things that we spoke about. I'll click on any comments that come through. Shaken baby syndrome, also renamed by the Pediatric Academy in America because they can't let go. Okay, too much of a moneymaker for American Dowies. The American Dowies sounds like a band, doesn't it? Yeah, that's what Dr. Wayne Squire was saying. You know, there's too many people that still believe in it, and there's money in it, and that's why if there's any cases in Britain, they have to go abroad to get defence witnesses. So I think I've come to the end of the comments. So I'm going to say good night. I'm going to end the stream now. Thanks ever so much for being here, everybody, and really appreciate all your comments. And for anyone who's listened, whether you've commented or not, and thanks very much. And thanks to everyone who may listen when it's loaded up. Take care, everyone, and have a good. Well, it's coming up to 1 o'clock here in the UK. Wherever you are, have a good rest of the day or the night. I'm ending the stream now. Good night all. Take care and see you soon. Bye-bye.